YouTube. Welcome to Cruise Chat Live. It's Sunday morning. I am Walter, your independent travel advisor, and as always, my lovely wife, Rebecca, sitting right alongside me over here. Good morning, Cindy. How are you? Louisiana is a little bit cool as well. Hey, Sue. Good morning. Good to see you. Good morning, Belly Girl. How are you? Good to see everybody. It's a beautiful Sunday, at least here anyway. Joe is 63 in Chicago already. Well, I think it's time for another Caribbean cruise is what it is, Joe. Oh, no, it's absolutely beautiful down here in Florida today. Folks, if you're new to the channel, I am Walter, your independent travel advisor, and we handle cruise, land, luxury, and expedition. So if there's anything we can do for your future travels, please do reach out. where'swaltertravel.com. If you're watching us on TikTok, you can just simply click my logo and there are links to get in touch with me. Or if you're watching us on YouTube, there are links down in the description below. So how's everybody doing? It's a beautiful 56 in New Jersey, says sound kind of nice. I like that idea. That sounds absolutely beautiful. Yay. So back in Florida. Oh, hey, Colette. You're back in Florida. Yay. Welcome back to Florida. Woohoo. Woohoo. Oh, yeah, Cindy. Yeah, so Cindy brings up a good point. We were chatting this week, and we were actually chatting about our upcoming group cruise. Cindy is joining us. Colette is joining us. We've got, I think, almost 30 people now joining us on the Sun Princess. That is sailing October 19th through the 26th, 2024. The ship itself is selling like crazy. I would guess that over 50, maybe over 60% of the ship has already been sold. This is October 19th through the 26th, 2024. The brand spanking new Sun Princess heading out on a 7-day Eastern Caribbean. Let's see, we're going to St. Thomas, San Juan, the private island, Princess Keys, and we're going to have 3 sea days to really explore the ship, including a cabin crawl. We're going to have a cabin crawl so we can all go explore various cabins. I think we've got about 5 different types of cabins already booked. So we're just going to go do some exploring. We're going to be in a cove balcony. Those are the ones all the way down by the water line. So, hey, Steven, how are you? Good to see you. A sunny day in the New York area. Fabulous. That is absolutely awesome. Cindy's husband was happy that you booked a cruise without talking to him first. I like that. That is absolutely awesome. I love that. Hey, folks, if you're new to the show, first of all, we invite you to please subscribe to TikTok and YouTube. And secondly, if you like what we're doing, please hit those like buttons so that both YouTube and TikTok know you actually like what we're doing, because we really do enjoy doing these Sunday mornings with you. Good morning, Jessica. Good morning, new media. Sunny in Boston. Sounds like we're having a lot of very good days around the U.S. today. That is absolutely fantastic. And again, hey, Bill and Stacy, how are you? Another set of folks who are coming along on the Sun Princess group cruise. So if you have not booked, now look, a lot of you hear Rebecca's voice every Sunday and sometimes on Thursday, and you all want to meet her. This is how you do it. You come on a group cruise. This is the only way you're going to see her. This is the only way you're going to meet her. Come on a group cruise with us and enjoy 7 to 12 days with us. So we're going to be.
I'm not sure I'd think of that as a reason to book a cruise.
What do you guys think?
There's plenty of other good reasons. That's kind of like way down at the bottom of the list.
What do you got? You think that's a good reason to book a cruise with us, to come meet Rebecca? I mean, the woman of mystery who just, keeps herself off camera, and everybody's like, who is that voice off camera? An amazing voice that comes in, the amazing voice of reason that comes in from off camera. And that would be my wife, Rebecca. And if you want to meet her, you can come along on one of our group cruises. So we are, Rhonda, your husband turned 60. In 2025, you want to plan an Alaska cruise. Well, Rhonda, oh my goodness, you've actually jumped ahead to the big reveal later. But Rhonda, obviously you have choices. We always talk about Princess Cruises. We talk about Holland America, if you want to do a land sea tour. However, we are working out the details right now. We are going to be doing a 12-day Alaska group cruise on Oceania Cruises in 2025. This is going to be an amazing cruise. First of all, Oceania is nearly all inclusive. So all your meals, your Wi-Fi, you get beer and wine with lunch and dinner. You're going to get what, an $800 shore excursion credit on this particular one?
I believe so, yes.
So $800 towards your shore excursions. I mean, it's just going to be amazing. And there's only, I think there's around 1,000 people or something like that. That's all that's going to be on the ship. 1,200 is going to be on the ship. So it's going to be a very small ship, which is the way that you see Alaska. And I want to say we have 8 or 9 ports over the 12 days, including, this is a really good one. When we go to Victoria, we're actually going to be there from like 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. So you're actually going to have a full day to explore Victoria. It's not going to be that token 3-hour stop. So we do have that coming up. We will be making the announcements this week. But yeah, so in terms of Alaska, Princess and Holland are always the two that we lean into first, maybe Celebrity. And I would highly encourage, if you're not going to come along on that 12-day with us, to try to do the land sea tour, because the longer you can spend in Alaska, the more amazing the adventure is. I've lost track of how many cruises that we have now booked in Alaska. So if you'd like some help, certainly reach out, where'swaltertravel.com, or since you're watching on TikTok, just click our logo. There's actually a link in there. You can set up a call with me and we'll talk about it. But Princess and Holland America are the two top that we always lean into. Now we're really leaning into Oceania, because Oceania, we have a fare that includes the flights as well. So we can wrap the flight and you get, all the meals. And this is like gourmet cooking. Like I just found out they have surf and turf sandwiches out at the pool grill every single day. And we are going to be on the Oceania Serena for Christmas and New Year's. Well, guess what? I'm going to be having a lot of surf and turf sandwiches. Oh, and the specialty coffees are included as well. That's very exciting for me. That means espresso and cappuccinos, things like that. But, with Alaska, there you have the big three. You got Skagway, Juneau, Ketchikan. Those are the big three that you're always looking for. If you're on Princess, a lot of people like to go to Glacier Bay National Park, or maybe you go to Hubbard Glacier. There's College Fjord as well. So there's a lot of things to consider. And for me, Alaska, the smaller the ship, the better. You don't want to really be on a big ship, because sometimes there's issues getting those ships into a dock. And then when you come into a port, very small, very, very small port. So if you're on a ship with 5,000 people, it takes a long time to get everybody off the ship, get everybody back on the ship. Smaller ships are a little easier to get around. So that's my quick advice. That's awesome. 60th birthday. If you want to come join us, we'll have more information about that Oceania cruise possibly this week. We need to finalize up some deals, and we're going to have amazing amenities that are being offered by our business development manager. That's one of the cool things.
Once we get to be an official group.
Yeah, once we get to be an official group, but he is offering some incredible amenities for our group. So I'm really, really excited about that. Hey, we've got Sarah, we've got Jen. Good morning, guys. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. And I love it. Cindy says that Joe said it absolutely is a good thing to come see you. So I love that. Bill and Stacy, you had such a great time with us. Yay. So it is a great reason to book a cruise. So Bill, Stacy, Rebecca, and I all sailed on the Sky Princess earlier this year. And my goodness, did we have a good time. If you ever get a chance to sail with Bill and Stacy, please do it. Bill has some of the best stories and the best laugh. I love Bill's laugh. And Stacy is just one of the sweetest people you've ever met in your life.
And a great trivia partner.
Oh, yeah. Stacy's an awesome trivia partner. Bill is good for cheering on the trivia. He's really good at cheering on the trivia, but Stacy's a great trivia partner. Rhonda, so you've cruised with Princess before. That's great. So you know the quality of her service. The ship I really like up there, they have the Sapphire Princess up there. That was our ship. So it's kind of, near and dear to my heart. But the one way is, if you're just going to do like 7 days, if that's all the time you have, if you can do the one way, you're going to get at least one extra port by doing the one way versus doing a round trip. So, yeah, generally.
Not really.
Good morning. How are you, Kat? Good morning, Chuck. Good morning. Basing a trip on fishing for sockeye. I wouldn't have any idea what to tell you about that.
Well, I do know that certainly it's only certain times a year.
Oh, you're talking about Alaska. I'm so sorry.
It's only certain times a year. And I know there's very strict permitting issues on it. So you'd probably have to look into a specific excursion.
Yeah, you'd probably have to go with a guide.
And be it there at the right time of year, which I'm not really sure when that is.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were talking about Alaska. Yeah. And, and if you're going to do any fishing or hunting or anything like that, the best way to do it is to go with an approved guide. They have all the licensing, they have all the permits, and then they tell you what you need to pay for and buy if you're going to do any fishing or hunting. So, Tim, yes, we are planning a group cruise in Alaska for 2025. We will be on Oceana Cruises for that one. And we will have more announcements coming up this week, hopefully this week. We need to get some things cleared up with Oceana. We're also going to be doing, I actually skipped right by it, as soon as we get everything finalized with MSC, we're going to be doing a group on the MSC Seashore July 7th through the 14th, 2024. That will be a Western Caribbean from Port Canaveral. And we will be doing a 7-night Western Caribbean from Port Canaveral because it has an overnight at Ocean Key, which is a beautiful private island, and the overnight is a lot of fun. So that we should start booking this week. We're just waiting on some information from MSC, and I have noticed that our live is dropping off from time to time, so just bear with it. I don't know.
Italy does have to kind of officially approve the group.
Yeah, in order to get a group approved on MSC, it's got to go all the way back to Italy and get approved back there. Now, I am Italian, so hopefully my last name will influence them and tell them, yes, let's give this guy a group. But so our MSC group will be coming up. And of course, the big group that we've been booking, we have so many of you already coming along. We can't wait to meet you all. The Sun Princess, the brand spanking new Sun Princess, first in the Sphere class, the amazing dome up top, the new arena, 29 restaurants and lounges, including 2 restaurants that we don't even know about yet. One's going to be a super high-end restaurant on the back. The other one is a mysterious, some sort of a dinner theater, dinner experience that's behind a black door. And we don't know anything about that yet. But October 19th through the 26th, 2024, we are throwing in $100 of onboard credit on that. Plus, we have some amazing rates right now on that one as well. So, Isla Churchill, you just did the Sapphire Princess. Oh, love the Sapphire Princess. Hey, Chuck, how are you? Good to see you guys. Hey, Chuck and Mary, it was great chatting with you. Why don't we ever show my wife face? Because she doesn't want to be on camera. How about that? It is that easy.
He shows my face. There are consequences.
Yeah, it took me about 6 months just to get a microphone in front of her. It used to be that I would get the pad and I would be like, Rebecca says, but at least I finally got the microphone in front of her. So do we have a group cruise planned on Princess in the future? Yeah, so October of 2024, we will be on the Sun Princess. It's going to be a 7-night Caribbean, Eastern Caribbean, St. Thomas, San Juan, and Princess Keys with 3 sea days. It is the brand new Sun Princess.
And its first Caribbean season.
Yeah, first Caribbean season. In fact, it'll be like, I don't know, like the 7th or 8th Caribbean cruise for the ship. So we're booking that right now. I want to say we have somewhere between 25 and 30 people already booked on the cruise. We are going to do a cabin crawl because we've already got like 5 types of cabins already booked. So we're going to do a cabin crawl on the second sea day. Plan that out. We're going to be in a cove balcony, which is the one all the way down by the sea waterline. We've never been in one down there before. And we do have one of our guests is actually in the Sphere. So most people may not realize that the Sphere itself, the bottom third of it is all the glass for the atrium, but then the top 2/3 are balconies. And you really don't notice it because it's all black. You know, they kept the glass black all the way along, but we've got one guest who's actually booked in the Sphere. So I can't wait to see what that cabin looks like. That's going to be amazing.
New kinds of cabins for Princess on this ship.
Oh my God, so many new cabins. Oh, we got some folks who are in the Cabana mini suite. Benny is reminding us it's only 377 days till the Sun Princess. And Benny's got 24 days till Virgin Voyages. And where are we? Yeah, what is our count?
41 till Thanksgiving cruise.
We are 41 days until our Thanksgiving cruise, Giant Lady, and we've got a really fun group going on that one too.
75 till our Christmas cruise.
So we're going on the Oceana Serena for Christmas and New Year's, 12 days on that one.
248 till Ben and David.
Right. We booked the Ben and David group cruise. We've got, I think, 142 people going on that one. That's going to be on the Valiant Lady in June.
And then the 377 till Sun.
377 till the Sun Princess. So we've got 4 already on our countdown. We're going to add a 5th to our countdown this week, probably. So it is absolutely crazy. Hey, Mike, good morning. David is asking if we are booked on the Icon. We are booked on a preview cruise. So Royal Caribbean is doing 2 preview cruises. Excuse me. Royal Caribbean is doing 2 preview cruises of the Icon of the Seas. They're doing January 20th through the 23rd, and then the 23rd through the 25th, 26th. And then on the 27th, she'll go out for her first official maiden voyage.
My goodness.
What?
Chris Cello.
Oh, wow. You've already booked the Star Princess. I love it. But yeah, so there's going to be 2 preview sailings. And we're going to be on January 20th through the 23rd. Yes, we will be. I will attempt to live stream from that. I will be doing all kinds of stuff from that. And again, I'm going to apologize. I see that the TikTok keeps resuming the live. So I'm sorry if you're getting some stuttering and stuff going on. That would be Spectrum wireless internet causing that. So I do apologize. But wow, Chris, you are already booked on the Star. That's amazing.
19-day med. There's just a whole lot of wow in that.
There's going to be a whole lot of wow in that. And, you know, Mediterranean group cruises are something that we have on the horizon. Nothing to confirm or deny yet, but it is something that we're looking at. We're also looking at river cruises. We're looking at all kinds of fun stuff. So, yeah. So, wow. But the Star Princess, so if you don't know, the Star Princess is the sister to the Sun. As far as we know, there won't be any differences in it. I mean, maybe they'll do a slightly different restaurant. What I am excited about is we got the teppanyaki coming now to the Sun Princess.
First for Princess?
Where they've moved the sliced pizza. So instead of being right next to the pool, it's now going to be down on the promenade. So I like that idea.
The buffet is down low instead of up high.
Yeah, the buffet is way down low as well. So that's going to be good. And yeah, it's just going to be absolutely freaking amazing. I'm so excited.
And they have a specific restaurant for
the reserve. So if you're getting a mini suite with the reserve collection, typically
or a full suite.
Yeah, or a full suite. So you're in Oklahoma. Do you need a hug? Do you need a hug? Oh, he said some bad things on YouTube. I think he needs a hug. Yeah, I know. So for those of you on YouTube, I apologize for the comment. Oh, I think he needs a hug. So somebody, if you're near him, just give him a hug. So, but as far as we know, we don't know if anything's going to be different on the Star Princess in terms of restaurants or things like that. It'll be, what I'm very interested, see if they're going to do that roller glider again on top, or will they just do something slightly different than the roller? I think the roller glider is interesting. I mean, I might want to try it. I'm just curious if it's going to take longer to actually get strapped in than it does to take the actual ride. Like on the MSC Seaside, I think it almost did take us longer to get strapped in than going down on the zip line. So, hey, good morning, Christy. How are you? Oh, man, you got a back-to-back in a suite. That is absolutely fantastic. I'll tell you what, the suites on the Sun Princess, actually all the cabins on the Sun Princess are gorgeous. Hey, Jerry, good morning. The ship is the Sun Princess. We are going on the Sun Princess. The dates are October 19th through the 26th, 2024. And if you'd like to join us, we are giving $100 of onboard credit as part of the amenities. We were thinking about doing like a cocktail party, something like that, but pretty much our entire group either has the plus or they have the premier. The premier is just a great price right now. So we'll probably still have a cocktail party, but it's going to be buy your own booze because everybody's going to have the package anyway. But we are doing the Sun Princess. It's going to be October 19th through the 26th, 2024. We're going to do St. Thomas, San Juan, and then the private island, Princess Keys. And we're going to have 3 sea days. And that's one of the reasons why I picked this itinerary, because the ship is brand spanking new. We're going to want to have time to really explore the ship. So that's what we're going to do. And there will be a cabin crawl on the 2nd sea day. I'm going to be reaching out to my guests who have the various cabins so we can go. If you've never been on a cabin crawl, it's kind of like a bar crawl, except instead of going to bars, we're going to go to different cabins and go see what they look like. So this way you can see what the various cabins are like on the ship. So, hey, Nene, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate you coming on to join us for a Sunday morning. Now, one of the things that we're watching, fortunately, it does not impact us. We don't have any guests going on any cruises or any travel in Israel. But obviously, if you have any plans coming up for Israel, those are probably going to be canceled, altered, changed. I've seen Celebrity has already announced changes to their itinerary. Obviously, the number one goal of travel is to keep everybody safe. So if you have any itineraries going to that area, even the region, over the next, say, month or so, just keep an eye on things because your plans are probably going to change, things way beyond our control. So, but hopefully everybody stays safe. Dave, 9 days. Awesome. You are 9 days from your cruise. I love it. I can't wait till we get down to 9 days. In fact, I just can't wait to get back on the Valiant Lady. It is going to be so much fun. Oh, my goodness. We've not been on the cruise. We've been on 5 days, the longest that we've been on Virgin Voyages. So this is going to be eight days. Cannot wait. And
we have our dining reservations.
Yeah, we have our dining. By the way, and if you're trying to ask any questions about Virgin Voyages on TikTok, I always forget to say this. Use VV. Do not type the word virgin because TikTok will block your comment. It's not me blocking it, it's TikTok doing it. So if you want to ask a question about Virgin Voyages, just use VV or misspell or say Voyages or whatever, but I'll be glad to answer. And what we just found out, we think that a woman named Carlos is going to be our diva, which is hilarious because we've had Carlos on our 2 Scarlet Lady cruises. And now it sounds like Carlos is going to be on this cruise. And we actually had dinner with Carlos without realizing it because obviously Carlos wasn't done up.
I kind of suspected, but I wasn't certain.
Yeah, and we spent the whole dinner talking about theater and performing and all of that, and it just didn't click until we saw Carlos do the show later on that evening, and I was like, oh my God, we had dinner with Carlos. I recognized the voice right away, so it was so funny. Hey, SoCal, you're leaving on a 7-day Mexican cruise on the 14th for your birthday. Happy birthday! Would that be the Discovery Princess? Wow.
Probably that would be out of LA.
Out of LA, absolutely. Wow, that's going to be so much fun. Happy birthday. What a great way to spend your birthday. We tend to do that a lot too. Our birthdays are in February and March, so we tend to put a birthday cruise somewhere in there, and then we try to do an anniversary cruise in September. So it's a great way to celebrate events, and ships are a great way to bring together multi-generational folks because there's so much to do on ships. Things for the adults to do, things for the kids to do. There's so many multi-generational families will go on a cruise for a vacation, and it's absolutely fabulous. And again, I'm going to apologize. I see the TikTok keeps going up and down. I really don't know what's going on today. It's the first time I've seen it have that many issues.
Usually it's 1 or 2, but this is kind of.
Yeah, so I really apologize if it's getting stuttery and things like that.
We'll have to reset our router after this.
Yeah, I should have reset. I usually reset the router in the morning before our shows, and I just didn't do it this morning, so I apologize. But you can write letters to Spectrum and tell them that you were unhappy. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. But yeah, so the Sun Princess group cruise is going to be amazing. Hey, Claudia. How are you? Good morning, man. We have had so many new folks call in. We have been booking so many cruises. We actually got a little bit of a breather this week, which was a good thing. But we have been booking a lot of cruises, and now we're starting to get a little bit more into the land tours. We've got some folks that we're talking to putting together an Italy land tour, and one set of folks are going to do an Italy land tour, and then we're going to match it up with a cruise as well. So they'll do like 10 or 12 days on land in Italy exploring, and then they'll go on like a Mediterranean or an Italy cruise. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I love doing stuff like that. And again, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe, either TikTok or YouTube. And if you like what we're doing, please go ahead and hit that like button so that YouTube and TikTok know that you like what we're doing. So Deborah, how are you? Deborah's already asking, can we send you information on the Oceania cruise with airfare? So Deborah, we can't yet because we don't have it yet. We're working that all out right now with Oceania. We hope to have that announced this coming week. In fact, we're going to be sending out emails to some clients just to give you guys a heads up on where we think things are going to be. But yeah, so that's going to be coming out this coming week. It will be just a 1,200 passenger ship. It's going to be 12 days. I want to say there's 9 ports. There's a lot of ports. And unlike most Alaska cruises that are round trip Seattle, we will have a full day in Victoria. It won't just be a 3-hour token stop just so they can check off that box and go, yep, we stopped in Canada. This will be an actual stop in Victoria.
And there's a brand new port for cruising in general.
Yeah, Klawak or Klawak. I have no idea how you say it, but for those who don't know, Oceania Cruises is owned by Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings, and Norwegian has partnered up with a tribe in Alaska. They're building a brand new port. It's in Klawak or Klawak, Klawok. So they're building a brand new pier, and we will be calling into this, and I believe it's going to be the first season that the pier will be open, that the new port's going to be open. So we will be calling into Klawak on this particular cruise. So JBB, you just got off the Mardi Gras last month. Now you're booked for Norwegian, the Viva, to Greece. Any comparison? Yeah.
They're big. They're both big.
Yeah, I mean, they're both big. However, what I highly recommend, our really good friends Ben and David just did a ship tour of the Viva. And what they noted is that a lot of the public spaces are small. Like the Comedy Club, I think they said held like 35 people, which is ridiculous for a ship that holds around 4,000.
Seating, I guess more could stand.
Yeah. So they noticed that a lot of the public, that they had tons of shopping and retail, but at the expense of some of the public spaces that they felt were a little bit small. They felt like some of the public spaces could have been bigger. The ship is gorgeous. Even they said the ship is absolutely gorgeous. But that was their one complaint about it.
Well, and the fact that, and I don't know if this is a fleet-wide thing or just this new class of ship, but the main dining room has the same menu every night.
Yeah, even the Haven had the same menu every single night. So that's one thing, and it is fleet-wide. Norwegian is doing the same menu every single night in the main dining room. So that's not the most exciting thing in the world, but it did sound like the specialty restaurants were really good. It sounded like the Food Republic was excellent. And then they had that dining hall. I think it's called the Indulge Food Hall, which sounded like it was really, really good. So from what we saw, when we were on the breakaway class ship, we thought the buffet was weak and we thought the main dining room was weak. What we saw from Ben and David, it looked like they had stepped it up a bit. I don't know if that's fleet-wide or just on this particular class of ship, but it did look like they were better. However, know that the main dining room literally has the same menu every single night. And it sounded like the Haven restaurant even had the same menu every single night. So the ship looks gorgeous. The pools look gorgeous. Of course, you got the racetrack up top, which is kind of weird. Even they thought it was kind of weird. It felt like the racetrack was out of place on the ship. It was originally, the Prima was originally designed to be all Haven. That was really supposed to be like a quote unquote Haven all adult ship to compete with Virgin Voyages. And then when the pandemic happened, they changed their mind. And all of a sudden they dropped. I don't know that the racetrack was ever supposed to be part of the original ship, but when they pivoted to make it a full family ship, they dropped the racetrack on top. And that's what Ben and David were saying, that it just kind of felt like they dropped the racetrack on top. It does sound like the next ship that's coming out, it's actually going to have a water park or a water feature up top. The racetrack won't be there. So it'll be interesting to see what that looks like. But two completely different experiences, I will say that. If it's still there, you're going to have Beetlejuice. Now, who knows? Because Norwegian has been canceling a lot of the Broadway shows, which is a shame. But hopefully you're still going to have Beetlejuice there. So, but I think, you know, in terms of like trivia and games and things like that, it should be somewhat similar. Although the Fun Squad on Carnival, there's just nobody like that Fun Squad. They truly are fun. And they're the only ones with the ship on a stick, which is like the best prize anywhere in cruising. It's funny how many people want that ship on a stick. So that is absolutely awesome. Steven is asking, did we hear about Norwegian adding 1,000 solo cabins across the fleet? Yeah, in fact, we actually did a TikTok about that, and I think I did a thing on YouTube. If you have not heard, Norwegian, it's basically recategorizing 1,000 staterooms on across the fleet to be solo. And not only that, it actually sounds like that's it, because there was a comment in there about the amount of solo cabins, and the amount of solo cabins on a sailing will depend on the destination and the demand. So it sounds like they can literally just go in and they may flip some cabins over. And so what that means, now a lot of people think that, well, if I go solo, it's half the price. It's not half the price. Sometimes it can be about 2/3 the price. of one person, you know, in a double occupancy. So it's not necessarily half the price.
Sometimes it can be only a few $100s.
Yeah,
less.
sometimes it's just not much at all. So, so going solo has its advantages in the fact that, you know, you don't have to pay for two people, but sometimes the difference is not as much as you might think. And even with Norwegian, when I go into their studio cabins, it's not always a great savings over just getting yourself a double occupancy interior.
And you'll get a lot more space in
Yeah.
the double occupancy.
But now with them recategorizing cabins, that means these are going to be bigger cabins. Oceana did the same thing. Oceana actually went in and permanently recategorized some of their ocean views and interiors to be solo cabins now. But these were built for two people, so they're larger. And that's going to be the same case now on Norwegian, because Norwegian is just recategorizing. You're going to have interiors, ocean views, and balconies for solo travelers. Now that's going to be different. That balcony may be the best savings of everything, but we still have to go in and see, well, what is the pricing actually there? But they're on sale now, and I think they're for selling starting January 2nd. I think it was like the first of the year is when these cabins are actually going to be available for sale. But it's a great idea. I would love to see all the cruise lines like lean into this, because solo traveling is such a growing market right now. We don't have enough solo cabins. I mean, the Sun Princess has 4.
It is the first time Princess has any solos.
I know, but there's 4.
I know. It's
like
ridiculous.
Why?
But it is the first time they've ever had it.
It's the first time they've done it. So it would be really nice if they, you know, actually flexed it like this. This would be really cool. You know, like on a sailing, they can say, hey, we're going to take 20 cabins and we're going to make them solos. That would be a really cool way to do it. So this way people don't have to keep, you know, paying for double occupancy. I see Cabin Life is in Rome. Good morning. You guys are getting ready for your cruise. I love it. And thank you so much. You know, we have a lovely private Facebook group, Where's Walter Travel, on Facebook. And Cabin Life has been sharing their journey from Germany. Oh my God, the pictures they have been sharing with us. Thank you so much for allowing us to go along with you guys. What an amazing trip you're on. And you're what? You're about halfway through at this point. You haven't even gotten on the ship yet. So they're going to be getting on a celebrity ship for the Mediterranean. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. So yeah, I can't. Oh, I'm just so excited for you guys. Yep, Steve, we just talked about the solo. Was I talking about the Bliss? No, I was actually talking about
the Viva.
We were talking about the Norwegian Viva. If you mean the specific ship, we were talking about the Norwegian Viva, answering a question about the Viva versus the Mardi Gras. And then in terms of overall Norwegian, they're adding 1,000 solo cabins to the fleet. So this is really cool. They're just basically recategorizing existing cabins to solo. I think this is a great idea for all cruise lines to do. It's like just you got the cabins there, just go ahead and recategorize maybe 20 of them to let us book solos, because so many solo travelers are out there, and then we're always, you know, having to do double, you know, occupancy rate. Oh, that's right, you guys board tomorrow. Yay! Jeff and Becky, they are about 25 days behind us on Virgin Voyages. So you watch a few videos that say the menus have changed, especially on Razzle Dazzle. Do you know anything about that?
Yes, actually, on the app, if you can look at the venues, there generally will have menus for the restaurant menus, and the dinner menu that they show on Razzle Dazzle is the new one.
There you go. So just open up the app, the best app in cruising. I say that jokingly. It's a terrible app. Great cruise line, terrible technology when it comes to the app and the website. But like Rebecca said, if you go into the app, the new menu is now showing for Razzle Dazzle. So yes, they have come up with a new menu. The only thing, it sounds like they've gotten rid of the butter chicken from the secret menu, which was amazing. But that's okay. That's okay. They make great food.
The menu's secret. So.
Yeah, the menu's secret, so it could change. It could totally change. So, hey, Ocean, how are you? Good to see you. Team Carnival is amazing. Steve, do I think all cruise lines will do this? I think all cruise lines should do this. I think all cruise lines should come up with a flex solo. I mean, you know, Royal Caribbean actually has more solo cabins than you might think. We've actually got the list of them. Like on their Quantum class, they actually do have balconies. They have 6 solo balconies on the Quantum class. And I think we found around 253 solo cabins across the fleet on Royal Caribbean. But like Princess, Holland America, those are prime cruise lines set up to say, you know what, let's go ahead and flex some of our cabins. Carnival, a Royal Caribbean. Let's flex some of the cabins, you know, based on sailing, because we are getting more and more solo travelers reaching out to us saying, hey, can you help us find a good solo deal? And of course, we hit up the usual suspect: Norwegian, Virgin Voyages, Celebrity. Those are the three big ones for solo travelers. And then, you know, Holland America actually has some, and then Royal Caribbean, depending on when you're sailing. But the thing is, you got to book like 2 years in advance because there's not that many of them. So if you want a solo cabin, but then as we just talked about a few minutes ago, the solo cabin is not always the best deal. And on some cruise lines, you can get double points by booking that double occupancy. So if you're going to get
every cruise line.
No, but like if you're going to get 7 points for sailing for a week, you could get 14 points for sailing for a week by booking that double occupancy. Now that's not every cruise line, but for the ones that do, that's a great way. If your goal is to move up the loyalty ladder, that's a great way to do that. So, if I go solo, I would rather pay double occupancy for the points value. Yeah, that's what we were just talking about, Roger. But not every cruise line does that. So you got to make sure the cruise line is actually going to do that. One part, D'Angela, you were hoping to plan a family Alaska cruise 2025, but it's so expensive for a family of 5.
Well,
it can be.
That is because there aren't that many cabins for 5 people, so you're probably going to have to buy 2 cabins.
Well, yeah, so we would probably split you, but okay, so number 1, it depends on the cruise line that we're going to go on. Number 2, it depends on the cruise you're going to take. We have had some really reasonable rates for 2024. Now, Princess is open for 2025, and there are some really reasonable rates for 2025 as well, especially if you're doing the round trip Seattle. You know, we can put you on a Princess cruise. We can put you on Holland America. We can put you on Celebrity. Now, on Royal Cruise, you want to go on Disney, you want to go on Norwegian, those prices are higher because you got all that stuff for the family to do, and you've got to pay. You know, when they have bumper cars and they have flow riders and you actually pay for all of that, you know, in your cruise fare. But we have booked, let's see, we booked 6 on a cruise, obviously splitting them across a couple of cabins. So it can be done. If you want to reach out to us, we'd be more than happy to see what we can find for you. But that's what we do. You know, we'll look across all the cruise lines. We'll present you with the options, with the best values. And I'll tell you what, booking right now for 2025, these are the best rates you're going to get because we are so far out. We're expecting Royal Caribbean to come up soon. Now, Royal Caribbean has not announced 2025, hoping that either by the end of this month or sometime in November, Royal Caribbean will finally open up 2025 for Alaska. I've actually got multiple clients waiting on that. I've got 3 families waiting to go on to 2025 there. So, but if you'd like some help, I mean, you're watching us on TikTok, just click the logo, the Where's Walter Travel logo. There's a link tree in there, and there's a link to contact us. We'll be more than happy to help you out. And in case you don't know, those of you watching for the first time, our services are 100% free. We don't charge you any kind of a research fee, a planning fee, cancellation fee. We don't charge any of that stuff. We get paid a commission from the travel partners, which, by the way, is baked into the price. So if you think you're saving money over a travel advisor by, say, going to princess.com, you're paying the same price as if you worked with that. They're just keeping the commission. That's all. So, so if you'd like some help, or if anybody else is watching and you'd like some help with a cruise or a land tour or a luxury or expedition, we will absolutely be happy to help out. So we can find it. And of course, I don't know what expensive is for you. So we can find some options for you. And if you book now, obviously you have a long time. You can pay it off little by little between now and 2025, which takes away some of the pain points for sure. So yeah. Wi-Fi 5G is sketchy in Europe. Apparently it's sketchy here too today. I don't know why we're having some issues with the Wi-Fi here. Are there connecting cabins? One part. Yeah, absolutely. There are connecting cabins. Not that, you know, not as many, but there are some connecting. Certainly we can always get a joining. But there are connecting cabins out there. Princess, Holland America.
Pretty much everybody has them.
Celebrity
to some degree.
The only one that really doesn't have them is Virgin Voyages. Virgin Voyages, the only connecting cabins on the ship are the Cheeky Corner Suite. That's it. Everything else is not.
Yeah.
So, which is interesting. But, you know, connecting cabins is more of a family thing. And Virgin Voyages is an adult cruise line. So it does kind of make sense that they don't really have it. Better to book 2025 now or Black Friday. So on Black Friday, you don't really get sales on cruises. You get sales on the packages. And here's the thing. if you book right now and the price goes down Black Friday, guess what? I call Royal Caribbean, I call Carnival, I call whoever and say, hey, your price went down. Price adjust it. So you're better off right now. The inventory is good. Then on Black Friday, everybody's going to think, oh, wow, there's a great deal. Well, here's the thing. They're not always great deals. So you might see 75% off, but what you didn't look at and you didn't track is the actual cruise fare. So before the sale, the price might have been, say, $500 per person. And now on sale, 75% off, the price is $600 per person. And you didn't pay attention to that. They just want you to look at that 75% off. So what they did was they raised the cruise fare and then they dropped the cruise fare 75%, but your actual fare went up. So,
and the same goes with various cruise packages. You just, if you're interested in something,
book it now.
Well, yeah, for the cruise, book it now.
Book it now.
You can get it price adjusted. For packages, just track the pricing.
With packages, you have to track the pricing. Actually, with everything, you've got to track the actual price. Pay zero attention to the offer, because the offers are like, oh my God, it's 50% off. Oh my God, it's 80% off. Oh, it's buy one, get one free. But if you don't actually track that dollar amount, then you don't know whether it's really a good deal or not, because I can make something buy one, get one free tomorrow, but if I jack the price up double, you just didn't save a thing because you didn't pay attention to the price. You're just looking at, oh, now it's buy one, get one free, which is what the cruise lines want you to do. And all the travel partners just want you to look at the big shiny offer. They don't want you to notice that we actually raised the price by $100. Yes, hey, yeah, we would love to help you out. One part, Angela, please do reach out. Oh, Cabin Life, thank you. So what's really cool about Cabin Life is we put together a land sea tour, like an independent land sea tour. We worked with one of our European travel partners and put together the land portion of it. And then they're going to be going on a celebrity cruise, which we also booked. But our land tour partner also took care of the flights for them. And they were very specific in the types of flights they wanted. And we were able to get those flights. So it was really great. So all they had to do was just work with us. And we booked the celebrity cruise for them. And then we took care of all the land portion part of it for them. They didn't have to do any research. They didn't have to do any planning. We took care of all that. We even had to make some last minute changes on the fly. We were able to do that. So it was absolutely awesome. Pressel? I'm sorry if I got that wrong. We are in Orlando, Florida, but we service clients throughout North America and the Caribbean. And with Virgin Voyages, we can actually service anybody anywhere in the world, and we can sell in 6 different currencies. That's actually kind of fun. The first time I priced something out in British pounds, I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. But yeah, so we have clients all over the United States. We have some in the Caribbean, and I do work, West Coast hours when necessary, obviously, because I have clients in Seattle, I have clients in California, Nevada, I got clients in the Midwest. So I flex my hours based on what the clients need, and if they need me to be up at midnight, take a 9 o'clock call West Coast time, that's what I do. So yeah, that's where we are. The sea terrace balconies connect on VV.
Yeah, the balconies themselves.
The balconies themselves
but
connect
inside the room. That's what we're talking about as a connecting cabin.
Yeah, so a connecting cabin is one where you can open the door and step into the next cabin. Virgin Voyages doesn't have that. You can open up the balconies on any ship, just about, unless you hit a firewall. If you're one of the unlucky ones that hits a firewall, they will not open that one up. But yes, you can open up the balconies for sure.
And that is kind of another way to connect the cabins.
It's a great way to connect the cabin. But the sea terrace, the cheeky corner suites do actually seriously do connect to that,
to a sea terrace,
to the next one. Yeah, which is actually kind of interesting. How do I handle getting cell phone service in Europe? Well, for us, we have T-Mobile. So our T-Mobile allows us to get free data in well over 150 countries. So when I was in London, I was able to get data for free. So my
and free texting as well.
Free texting. I was able to get my internet and all of that. And then when I called home to Rebecca, it was 25 cents a minute. I didn't have to do anything to my phone at all.
But other service companies will sometimes allow you to add an international plan for just like 1 month. So you basically, you'd have to get in touch with your service provider to see what your options are.
Right. And AT&T is now offering a special package to use your phone on a cruise ship where you can actually use the cellular service on the ship. I don't know why you'd have to, because you can make calls over Wi-Fi, but they are now offering that as well. Billy Bo, What about booking while on a cruise? Is that worth waiting for the cruise for? So that's a great question. So anytime you are on a cruise ship, we highly recommend that you go down to the future cruise desk, whatever they call it, on that particular cruise ship. Find out what is the offer. You don't always have to book a cruise on the ship. Like with Virgin Voyages, you can get what's called a My Next Virgin Voyages certificate. So you pay $300 on the ship. You're going to get $300 off when you book your cruise, and you're going to get $600 of onboard credit. By far the best deal going right now at sea. Other cruise line, and most of the cruise lines have something like that. They might have a reduced deposit. They might have another kind of a coupon. They might say, hey, if you book with this code, you're going to get this much onboard credit. Sometimes it's good for a while. Sometimes you got to book within 30 days. But you don't always have to actually book the cruise, but there's usually some sort of a deal being offered on the cruise ship. And if you booked your cruise with me, and then you go ahead and do one of these future cruises on the ship, it's going to automatically roll over and be connected to me, or at least it should. And then we can manage it for you. But you should always go take a look at what they're offering.
And as far as waiting until your cruise to get one of those, if the cruise you're looking at is far out, yes, wait till you go in. But if the cruise you're looking at is only a month or two after the one you're going on, I wouldn't wait.
Yeah, and Jen over on YouTube saying another option for overseas internet is to obtain a local SIM. Yep, we've heard of that. She's used that because it was far less expensive than AT&T, but it does take some research depending on the coverage area. And I know Jen does tons of research. Jen is an amazing person. You know, this is one of the things that I absolutely love about cruising. Jen, Rebecca, and I all met actually on the Island Princess during a Panama Canal cruise. And when was that cruise?
2010.
2010, and we've been friends ever since. And this is one of the things. In fact, that cruise we made multiple friends on that one, and that's one of the things that I love about cruising. When we went on the ship, we had no idea who Jen was, and by the time the cruise was over, we were good friends, and we've stayed in contact throughout. And now we're actually helping Jen out with some of her travels. So it's absolutely fantastic. Kenneth, good morning. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks so much for joining in. Sanders asking the best website to start research for cruises out of Cape Canaveral. Well, obviously working with a travel advisor, you know, that makes your life so much easier, because all you have to do is just tell us or one of our many colleagues, hey, I want to sail out of Port Canaveral. I want to sail during this time frame, and this is what I want on the ship. We'll do the research for you. But you know, any typical site, you know, like an Expedia or something like that.
Honestly, I would, if you want to look specifically at what cruise lines are going out of Port Canaveral, just go to the Port Canaveral website, and they will have a list of the cruise lines that sail out of there, and then you can look at those cruise lines. So at least that narrows your focus. Yeah,
or if you just want to go to like an Expedia type thing and just type in the Port Canaveral and just do a wide search like that.
Yeah,
you could certainly do that. But working with a travel advisor certainly makes your life a lot easier, because that's how we work with most of our clients. Hey, I want to sail out of Port Canaveral. We're looking at January to March time frame, and it has to be a family ship, but we don't want this particular cruise line. Okay, fine. So we start doing research on it, and then we'll present 4 options for you right off the bat and say, here you go.
As far as I can remember, we've got Carnival, Royal, Norwegian, Disney, obviously, MSC. Certain times a year,
Princess, Celebrity,
and Celebrity will come in.
Yeah, they're coming in.
Small seasons for those.
Yeah. User 959, why have cruise prices gone up so much? You will have to contact the individual cruise lines and ask them. You know, part of it, obviously, they had ships sitting idle for 24 months. They are still coming out of it, even though you're reading about record profits and things like that. They had to maintain those ships for 18 to 24 months. And that is one of the reasons. Plus, if you've been to your local grocery store, you've been to your local convenience store, you've been to your local department store, you know, prices.
Out to eat at a restaurant.
Yeah, you know, prices are up all around. Well, that trickles down to the cruise industry as well, even though they're buying in such bulk. Maybe they used to pay $1 for this thing, and now they're paying $2 for this thing. So that's, you know, that's a double the price they used to pay. That's part of it right there. So at some point, hopefully there will be a price correction and it starts to come back down, because there's a lot of competition out there. That's the one thing that keeps the pricing low, is when there's a lot of competition. That's why Caribbean, generally you can get into the Caribbean pretty cheap because there's so many ships. Alaska has even come down lower than it used to be because there are so many ships at certain times of year. Now, at the beginning and the end of the season, there's a lot less, but depending on the experience you want. But that would be, you know, those are the two big reasons. One, they were idle for so long, so they're still coming out of that black hole. And two, everything has gone up. So cruise pricing is going to just follow along with it. So, Cabin Life looked into that package. Stacy and Bill said they have AT&T. Oh, cool. That's great. Carnival drink packages include the tip. They do. Actually, they do include the gratuity if you get that Cheers package. And the Cheers package is going up a little bit for the
shorter, like 5 days and under, I think.
5 days and under is going up by $10 a day. But yeah, the drink, I'm trying to think if there's any drinks package out there that does not include the gratuities. Usually they do.
Some cruise lines roll the cost of the gratuities into the price you see. Some cruise lines will add gratuities onto the price you see for the package. You won't have to pay them on the ship for each individual drink, but it just depends whether they roll the price of the gratuities into the package or add it on.
Yeah. Hey, Bill, good morning. Small town. We don't have a group cruise going to Italy. We have not yet anyway, but we will.
You have your friends.
Yeah. No, I was talking about our friend's Cabin Life. We put together. Right. My other friend. We have so many clients doing so many different things. So that's not actually a group cruise. We're putting together a package for one specific client. They want to do like 10 to 12 days on land, and then they want to do a cruise as well. So they want to spend like 20, 22 days over in Europe, with part of it being on land part. So we don't have a group cruise yet. We will have a group cruise in the Med at some point, but right now we have 3 group cruises. One of them is for sale. The other 2 are coming up shortly. We have the Sun Princess, the brand new Sun Princess, October 19th through the 26th, 2024. That is on sale right now. I want to say we have close to 30 people on that one right now. It's going to be a great group. The second group cruise is the MSC Seashore. That will be July 7th through the 14th, 2024. That includes an overnight at Ocean Cay. That is not for sale yet. We're waiting for approval from Europe. We have to get approval from Italy. That one will go on sale. And then we're working with Oceania right now. We will be doing an Oceania cruise in Alaska for 2025. That's going to be 12 days. It's going to be absolutely freaking spectacular. So those are the 3 groups we have right now. Future, river cruise, Mediterranean, those are on the list. But as of right now, those are the 3.
Our list is so long.
Our list is very, very long. And again, in terms of Italy, so we're putting together a custom package, and that's what we do. Obviously, you all know that we book cruises, but most of you may not realize that we book land tours, we do luxury, and we do expedition. So like with Cabin Life, that is a land sea tour. They spent time in Europe. They're about to get on the ship tomorrow. Then they'll spend a day in Barcelona after the cruise. So we put that together. We booked directly the Celebrity Cruise, and then we worked with one of our European tour partners and put together the land part, including the flights. We took care of the flights for the 2 of them as well. So really all they had to do was just get themselves to the airport, and from wheels up to wheels down, everything was kind of planned, you know, at least the basic parts of travel were planned out for them. So that is what we do. So AT&T has gotten better about their fee for the ship cell connection, was still $100 for 30 days. So for me, when I'm on a ship, I use calls over Wi-Fi. I mean, I really do. And if that doesn't work, I'll use WhatsApp. And I'm not paying any more for that service. I'm just paying for the Wi-Fi. So if I'm paying for the Wi-Fi, that's all I'm going to do. So Princess is going out of Port Canaveral fall of 2024. I'm hoping. I love the Caribbean Princess. I mean, I love the Caribbean Princess. That was our very first ship. But from all accounts that we're getting, including Bill and Stacy, who were on the ship, she needs a little dry dock help.
Well, I have heard that some of their issues have been able to be corrected as they're sailing.
Okay, that's good, because they've had some serious HVAC issues. So hopefully they're getting that at least taken care of.
You know, MacGyvered enough to get things through.
Yeah. Talal, do they have 3-day cruises from Florida? Boy, do we ever. We have tons of them. Tons of 3-day cruises. Now, to think about a 3-day cruise, keep in mind, those are party cruises. I call them Las Vegas weekends. Doesn't matter if you're on Royal Caribbean, Carnival. I don't know about Celebrity. Celebrity just started doing them, so I don't know what they're going to be like. But for the most part, they do tend to be more party cruises. They tend to be more booze cruises, because you're only on the ship for 3 days. And there's people who are like, I'm only on here for 3 days. I'm going to get as much as I can out of it. I call them Las Vegas weekends. It's exactly the same as Las
generally,
Vegas.
they do leave on a Friday, return on a Monday.
Yeah,
For the
yeah.
most
So
part. Not always, but mostly.
not always, but most of the time. Kyle Smash, what's the best cruise line for Alaska? Well, we've talked about it a lot. Princess certainly is one of the best up there, especially if you're going to do a land sea tour. I mean, they do a land sea tour really better than anybody because they own the hotels. They own the lodges on land. There's like 5 or 6 of them on land, and they own them, and they've had a footprint up there for so long that they work with a lot of great partners. Same with Holland America. Holland America, while they only own like maybe 1 or 2 lodges on land, they still have that long relationship with everybody up there. So if you're doing land sea tour, Princess is amazing. If you want to get if you want to do a land sea tour or get an extended cruise, Holland America is really good. But of late, we've been looking at and starting to book Oceania in Alaska, because Oceania is nearly all inclusive, and they have small ships. Their ships are 670 or 1,200 people, so they're a very small ship. They can get into some ports that the other ships can't. Or even if they go into the same port, you're only going to have 600 or 1,200 people to deal with to get on and off the ship. So you're going to have a much more pleasant experience. And Oceania, all of your meals are included. Your beer and wine is included with lunch and dinner. The flights can be included, and the flights are flat rate, which is amazing. So you can get either economy or business class at a flat rate price. Your Wi-Fi is included. Specialty coffee is included. Depending on the cruise, up to $1,200 in shore excursion credit is included. So there's a lot of great inclusions with Oceania, and because the ships are so small, and we're starting to price them against the other cruise lines. And when you add in, the airfare, then you add in the specialty dining, you add in the drinks package, you add in the Wi-Fi, you add in the gratuities, you add in everything.
Some shore excursion
money. All of a sudden, Oceania might be the same price or cheaper. It just looks like it's more because you're paying more up front. But once you add in all the extras with the other cruise lines, it's like, oh, wow, they're very similar. Now, Oceania does have what they call extensions on both sides of the cruise, where like you can extend your stay in Alaska either before or after the cruise. They don't have like what we call a cruise tour, but it's sort of kind of the same thing. But if you'd like some help, Kyle, we'd be more than happy. We have booked so many people in Alaska, and we will be doing an Oceania group cruise in 2025 in Alaska. We'll have more news for that hopefully next week. We're working out the details with Oceania. They're offering some incredible amenities once the group is set. So we'll have more news soon. Group cruise from Hamburg to Paris would be awesome. I like that. What do you think, Rebecca? 2025? Let's do it. That does sound good. I saw your post.
We got to get everything we're planning now set first. Think about moves for 2025.
Cheryl, how can we get updates from you on the group Alaskan cruise? Well, you can sign up for my mailing list. If you go to where'swaltertravel.com, you can sign up for the mailing list, or you can just simply drop me an email, walter@where'swaltertravel, and say that you'd like to have some information on it. Since you're watching on TikTok, if you click my logo, there's actually a link there to contact me.
Will you be making any?
I'll be making TikTok videos.
Well, on your Facebook page, will you be?
I will make an advance announcement on my Facebook page, and actually, I'm hoping today. I'm actually a web for the cruise, and if I get it done today, I'm going to start making initial announcement to select clients to let them know that this is coming. We need to book, I think, 8 cabins in order to make it an official group. So once it's an official group, the amenities are insane. Really nice amenities for everybody. So yes, Cheryl, if you'd like to get on our mailing list, certainly I'll be doing a video on TikTok. I'll be doing a video on YouTube. I will make an announcement. All I can tell you right now is that it is 2025. It is going to be 12 days. It's going to be amazing. I don't have the itinerary
round trip Seattle.
Round trip Seattle. So
it's interesting. They do a combination of one ways between and then the round trip Seattle. So it's so
we're going to do the round trip Seattle. We just figure it'd be a little easier for everybody. Plus the itinerary is amazing. So Rachel, is the government shutdown still happening? I actually did do a follow-up video on that for we got a government extension for 45 days. But then right immediately after that, the whole U.S. House kind of went into disarray. So who knows what's going to happen in 45 days. But as right now, if you're flying in a couple of weeks, no, I never said that the government employees would not be working. I said they wouldn't be paid. They were going to be working unpaid. So there would be delays there. So when a government shutdown happens, critical employees are required to keep working. and that would be your TSA, your Homeland Security, the air traffic control, but they're not being paid. So there's going to be delays because not everybody's going to show up. I mean, some people, that's just the nature of it, right? So I never said that the employees wouldn't be working. I said that the employees would be working unpaid, and that kind of sucks. So we just have to wait. I don't know when the 45 days runs out. It's going to be sometime in November, probably right around our cruise.
Well, we're not flying. So.
Yeah, we're not flying, but everybody else is.
I know.
So, if the government shutdown does happen, obviously your flights are going to be delayed. There could be delays in the cruises going up because Coast Guard's not going to be getting paid either. The Port Authority, the Port Authority is the state, but your Customs and Border Patrol, they're not going to be getting paid. So your cruises may be delayed getting off ship, getting on the ship. So we'll just have to wait and see. I don't know what's going to happen.
It's definitely yet another reason never, if you can at all avoid it, never fly in the day of your cruise.
And always have travel insurance.
Yeah.
You should always have travel insurance. We have that very unfortunate story from a couple of weeks ago of those two people who were just on a 4-day cruise and they rented a scooter in Mexico. I mean, what's the harm in that? And they got into a hit and run.
November 15th is the 45-day extension deadline.
Yeah. So, I mean, always have travel insurance because if something happens, the ship is gone. If you can't make it to the port, it's not like they're going to be like, oh, well, Walter and Rebecca aren't here. We should wait a while. No, especially the beginning of the cruise. Like, when they're ready to sail at 6 o'clock, those ropes are going to be dropped at about 5:45 and they're sailing at 6 o'clock. They are not waiting. When they are in a port somewhere, at the captain's discretion, they could wait up to 30 minutes. But if you miss that beginning of the cruise, I mean, you are screwed. So it's not too late. You can get travel insurance like pretty close up to the cruise. So if you don't have it yet, you can still get it. You're probably gonna have to get it independently if you're past the final payment, but get some sort of travel insurance just in case.
And pre-existing conditions may not be covered. But,
yeah.
But this is not a pre-existing condition.
User 251 leaving next week on the Norwegian Escape for New England, Canada. Any last minute tips? Well, number one, go to Food Republic. It's the best restaurant on the ship, at least for me. I love Food Republic. It was absolutely amazing. In terms of up there, we have had multiple clients go in on the Pearl, and they have been enjoying some great lobster. They've just been getting off the ship and walking around and enjoying some great tours. In fact, Bill and Stacy, if you're still watching, if you got some tips, you guys were just up there. I don't have any specific tips for like the tours and all of that, but
that is another one that's on our bucket list.
Mm-hmm.
Canada, New England.
So we've done some research on it, but also pay attention to tender ports. You may have more tender ports because your ship is so big. It may not be able to come into some of the ports, and for anybody watching here, if you don't know what a tender port is, that's where the ship can't actually pull into the pier for whatever reason. And they're going to use small boats to move you from the ship to shore and then back. And those boats can hold anywhere from 200 to 300 people. That automatically takes off about an hour of your time, maybe more in port, because the people who have shore excursions through the cruise line, they get the first boats. They get off the ship, and now you've got to wait. And then there's that time. It takes about 15 minutes or so to load a boat, and then the boat goes in, drops you off. So that's probably a good 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. Then you got to get back to the ship. So if your port time is say 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., it's really going to be more like 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. because you've got to take off an hour, or maybe 8 to 5 or something like that. But you're going to lose about an hour of your port time. So be aware of that. And if you're not on a ship shore excursion in a tender port, you have to wait for all of those people to get off, unless they're running two sets of tenders, which they do sometimes. Sometimes they'll have like the standby up in the front and the scheduled in the back. But just know that it's going to take time to get there. So put you down for a possible group trip to Alaska. Well, funny you should say that. We were planning to reach out to you guys. So yes, you will know all about it. And thank you, Kath, for the government extension. I appreciate that. Could they cancel the cruise based on lack of cruisers? I'm not sure.
I think if people couldn't get to the port because of a government shutdown sort of thing.
No.
I doubt it.
No, it would never happen unless the government shut the cruise down. No, but the cruise will sail. But
Because they have their money whether people show up or not.
There was a statistic a while back that once a ship hit like 35% capacity, they were already at break even at that point. Now, I don't know what the numbers are today, but back in the day, it was like 35% capacity. Before the pandemic, 30 to 35% capacity, they were already at break even. So no, they would never cancel based on a lack of cruisers. So yeah, so photographer's journey. Glad you said pre-existing conditions are not covered. Heard some horror stories about this. So in general, if you book a cruise,
well, that statement for me was just about somebody trying to get coverage last minute.
Right. So when you book your travel, whether it's a cruise or anything else, you in general, like with Allianz Global, who is the insurance company we work with, you have 14 days from the day of deposit to purchase your insurance, and pre-existing conditions will be covered. You can still purchase insurance after that 14-day mark, but now pre-existing conditions will no longer be covered in that insurance policy. So you definitely want to look into that, and that's something that that we can help with. Now, we are not insurance experts by any means. We just offer our advice, and then if you have deep questions about Allianz Global and the policy and what's covered and all that, we would just hand you off to Allianz. They know everything about their policy, so then they can answer your questions directly. But if you want to get travel insurance, we always recommend to our clients, like, get it like the same day if you can. Like, we put the deposit down, let's get your insurance. And since we're on the topic, the big question I get, well, what's the difference between cruise line travel insurance and independent travel insurance? Predominantly, the cruise line travel insurance is there that if you have to cancel your cruise, you're going to get your money back. That's where it's heavily weighted. If something actually happens to you on the cruise and you get hurt, or you need to be medically evacuated, or the cruise stops for whatever reason, the trip is now interrupted and you got to fly back and all that good stuff. That is where the good independent cover. Obviously, not all independent insurance is equal, but the policies that we sell from Allianz Global, we feel are good. We actually get the same policy that we sell to our clients. So every time we go on a cruise, we get the same policy. And so the independent insurance still has, you're going to get your money back for specific reasons. And that Allianz policy is like 27 reasons. I've looked it up. There's 27 specific reasons why you can get 100% of your money back. But also, if something happens to you on the cruise, like we've got $50,000 per person in medical, we got up to $500,000 per person in medical evacuation to fly you back to the United States. That's huge because it's very expensive to do an air ambulance back. We can take that up to $1 million in medical evacuation. We can take it up to $100,000 each in medical insurance. So, hey, Desiree. Oh, thank you so much, Desiree, for the super sticker. You are so kind. Appreciate it. Good morning. Good to see you.
Just a couple other things about the insurance. I didn't even think about this till I read about it, but I know a lot of people are on blood pressure medication. Just a warning, if you're on blood pressure medication, you have any sort of cardiac or stroke or any issues, that's going to be considered a pre-existing condition, even if your blood pressure is controlled with the medication. Just being on that medication will count as a pre-exist. So if you're on blood pressure medication, do not ever, because a cardiac issue or a stroke could just be so expensive.
And just keep in mind, the insurance companies are always looking for a reason to not pay. We love Allianz. We think they're a great company, but any insurance company is looking for a reason not to pay. And if they can find a pre-existing condition and you don't have pre-existing coverage, guess what? That's their little loophole to say, oh, that was pre-existing. We don't have to pay for it. So just, if you're going to get the insurance anyway, get it within the first 14 days. So you're covered no matter what, because you may have something you didn't realize.
And every insurance carrier has different
rules.
Time frame for what that pre-existing, but there is going to be some sort of grandfather clause in there for a certain
something like
of time.
And everybody, if you're new to the channel, I am Walter, your independent travel advisor. Where's WalterTravel.com. We'd be more than happy to help you with your cruise, your land, your luxury, your expedition adventures. And that voice you keep hearing off camera is my lovely wife, Rebecca, who is my partner in crime in this whole enterprise. If you're watching us on TikTok, it's very easy to get a hold of us just by clicking my logo, go into the link tree, right there. There's a contact button. And if you're watching us on YouTube, down in the description below, there is a link to get in touch with us. The easiest thing to do is to use our online calendar. Set up a time that's convenient for you. I call you, we have a chat, and then we get to work trying to find the best possible vacation for you. So, and please do be sure to subscribe and like TikTok and YouTube as well.
And then my one other travel insurance thing to be aware of is this is a reimbursement. So you will still have to pay your medical fees or your trip delay fees, but you will get reimbursed later.
Yeah.
So
yes, for the most part. There may be some out there that, they take care of it, but for the most part, you will be paying up front and then filing a claim afterward. And we've had clients who have had to do last minute cancellations on cruises. So basically the cruise line's like, well, here's 50% of your money back. And then they file a claim for the other 50% to get their money back on that, as long as it's a legitimate claim. Like I said, I know Allianz, there's like 26, 27 reasons. And I know right where it is on page 8, where it starts. There's a whole list of reasons you can cancel for these 27 reasons and get 100% of your money back.
And medical issues are definitely
they're up there. Family bereavement, loss of job, like there's a bunch of things in there for why you can do it. That
definitely is not covered under any plan that I know of, unless you get canceled for any reason. Is problems with pets. That's not covered.
Problem with what?
Like if you have a pet that gets sick and ill.
Pets.
Pets.
I thought you said pest. I'm like, no, a pest?
Pets.
We have this guy that's really annoying me. I'm not going to go on the cruise.
They're part of your, for most of us, they're part of your family.
Yeah, so for the most part, they won't cover that. Cheryl's asking, how can we tell if a port is a tender port? In general, and I have seen some cruise lines that don't show this, and it's starting to get annoying. But in general, when you look at the itinerary on the cruise line's website, it usually has the word tender, or it may say water shuttle.
Or sometimes there's a little symbol with like an anchor or something.
An anchor or a T or something like that. But usually the word tender or water shuttle. I think it's Holland America likes the word water shuttle. Princess may use it as well.
I think so.
But if you see water shuttle or tender, that is a tender port. Like some of the big ones, like Grand Cayman in the Caribbean, that is a tender port. They can't get in. Belize City. Belize City, if you haven't seen my TikTok, that's a big one. I mean, you're like far away from the port when you go to Belize City. You're not even close to the port. It is literally 1 hour from your ship until the time you're on shore. Because I clocked it. We were on the Sky Princess, and I clocked it. It is 1 hour from the cruise ship to get all the way to Belize City. It really is. And it's really, and I was like, wow, why are we so far away? And when I looked down, you could see the silt kicking up. And one of the crewmen's like, yeah, you wouldn't believe how shallow it is. And like the shore was so far away. So yeah, something like that.
I would say most of at least the older private islands are going to be tender. The newer islands tend to have piers.
Tend to. But even, like Norwegian hasn't put a pier in yet. Carnival's going to launch with it. So are we from the USA? Yes, we're in the Orlando area is where we are. We service clients all over the United States. Well, we service clients pretty much all over North America and in the Caribbean. And with Virgin Voyages, we can service clients anywhere in the world, including 6 different currencies, which is a lot of fun. I actually love pricing things in other currencies. It's just so much fun to see what it is. Even on for Canadians, we have a lot of Canadian clients, and so now we're able to price in Canadian dollars, which is fantastic. Hey, Aaron, how are you? Good to see you. And hey, Vanessa, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for joining in. Sarah, you did not get your luggage for 4 days on our Princess cruise in July. Bought insurance, got $400 back. There you go. That's good. That's good. See, and there's just a simple thing. It's like, wait a minute, where did our bags go? Something you would not expect, right? Just like those poor women, like it's only a 4-day cruise. What could possibly happen? They got in a hit and run. So it takes care of little things. It takes care of big things. So travel insurance, we have been cruising nearly 20 years and we've yet to take a cruise without travel insurance. And so whenever our clients ask, well, do we really need it? I mean, technically you don't need it, but as I always say, you don't need travel insurance until you need travel insurance. When you need it, you're going to be like, oh my God, I wish I would have had it. And honest to God, I've had 2 clients cancel in recent weeks, did not have it. And one client just lost 50% of their fare because we're past final payments. So they just lost 50% of their fare, and then the other client lost about 35% of their fare. But no travel, they're not getting it back. Cruise lines have a cancel schedule. It is on your confirmation. If you're wondering how much money will I lose, look at the confirmation that you received either from your travel agent or from a cruise line. Usually below the total fare, there's going to be something that says cancellation schedule. And it literally starts the day after final payment. So if final payment is March 10th, on March 11th, you immediately lose 25% of your cruise fare. And then it's usually every month, it'll go from 75%, 50%, 25% is what you're going to get back. So there is a cancellation schedule. And if you want to know how much money you're going to lose if you have to cancel the cruise after final payment, the cruise line tells you right there on that confirmation. So pay attention to that. Rachel, have we ever created an itinerary for a land vacation in New Orleans? We haven't yet, but we can. But no, we have not yet. But we certainly can. In terms of what do I recommend there, we haven't been yet. So I don't know. Other than Cafe du Monde, obviously you've got to go there for the beignets. Absolutely. So Lalila, I'm so sorry if I'm saying that wrong. You have a check-in time for 2 to 2:30 for Carnival. Do I know when the last call for porters? So the porters are there. If there are scheduled arrival times, the porters are going to be there. I would suspect they are there for 30 minutes after whatever that last, like if the last scheduled time is 5 o'clock, I would suspect you're still going to have porters available up until 5:30. Now, if the porters are gone, another terminal, like a terminal agent or somebody, will take the bags and get them to the ship. But in general, as long as you're within a scheduled window, the porters are going to be there, or somebody is going to get your bags to the ship. Yeah.
And if your bags are small enough that they will fit through, your standard sort of airport scanner thing, then you can just roll them on yourself, because by that time of day,
the cabins
should be open, so you can go right to your cabin with your luggage.
And just keep in mind, you're rolling uphill generally on that ramp. You go up the ramp, you go back the ramp, you go up the ramp, you go back the ramp.
But
and then you finally
it's
get
an
to the
option.
Ship. Yeah.
If it fits through a scanner.
Yeah. So, Jerry, oh my goodness, you had a heart attack in February. I'm so sorry. I'm glad you're okay. You're thinking of booking a cruise for 2025. Explain pre-existing. So pre-existing basically means it's something that you have right now. Like you would be probably a pre-existing cardiac condition of some sort.
Anything with cardiac,
probably
heart or stroke.
Hey, Dennis, how are you? Good morning. So right now you would probably be considered a pre-existing cardiac condition. I don't know what that, and I'm not a medical professional by any means, so I'm guessing right now. But based on you saying that you had a heart attack, you now have a pre-existing heart attack on your medical records. So have a great dinner, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. So if you have travel insurance that does not cover pre-existing condition, and something happened to you on the ship, or something happened to you on any of your travels that has to do with your heart, the travel insurance company can say it's a heart issue. You're not covered for pre-existing conditions. Therefore, we are not going to pay your claim. And that's what could happen. Now, every cruise line is different, or excuse me, every travel insurance company is different. They might still pay something, but that's why it's so important to get the pre-existing condition covered, because in your case, you had a heart attack, so you know that you've got a cardiac condition. There are people who may not know that they have pre-existing condition until something happens, and then the travel insurance say, well, that was a pre-condition, so
that's a little.
Well, I don't know. And again, that's me guessing. Would they pull that stunt? I don't know. I'd rather have it covered.
I think it's got to be on your. It has to be on your medical records somewhere.
Probably.
But if you have, say, a pre-existing cardiac condition and you sprain your ankle, well, the ankle sprain has nothing to do with that.
Right.
But there is generally always a way to get those pre-existing conditions covered. You just have to follow the rules of the particular insurance carrier.
Exactly.
And you have to be aware, for the vast majority of US-based healthcare plans, once you leave the United States, your health coverage will not cover you. Mm-hmm. So like Medicare, if you're on Medicare and you're in the Bahamas and you sprain your ankle, your Medicare is not going to cover any medical coverage.
Yeah. So many people don't realize that once you leave the United States, very often your U.S.-based medical coverage does not come into play at all. So now you're on your own dime. So 1995, you booked a cruise and you checked in, and it's a guaranteed set sail, says deck 9 to be determined. When will I know? You will know when the cruise line feels like telling you. Honestly, that's the only answer I can give you. Generally, by 2 weeks prior to the cruise, you know.
Usually.
But like pre-pandemic, there were people who would literally show up at the terminal, and that's when they would tell you, oh, you're in cabin 925. So it is still possible, but in general, within a 2-week window of going on the cruise, you're going to find out. It could even be a 1-week window, but in general, that's when they will assign the cabins and let you know. We have seen it sooner, but for the most part, it is going to be very close to the cruise. D, is it better to go through the cruise line for coverage insurance? So in my opinion, it's better to go independent. We actually have some clients who actually do both. But
I think it's kind of overkill.
It is. But basically, if all you're concerned about is getting my money back, then you go through the cruise line, because that's what it's really there for. If you are concerned about also being covered if something happens to you on the cruise, you know, medically, or you got to be evacuated, then we highly recommend independent. We always get independent. We've been cruising almost 20 years. I don't know that we've ever gotten the cruise line insurance. No. Okay. So we've always gotten it independent because the coverage is better, especially on the medical side. And in general, we find it's cheaper than what you're going to pay for the cruise line.
Now,
so
as you get older, it can be the price gap can
right.
close, but you're still going to get the better medical coverage. So
right.
you have to decide.
So with the cruise lines, it's pretty much a flat rate. I mean, they do base it on your age, but it's pretty much a flat rate. With independent insurance, there are three big factors that come into play. One, believe it or not, is the state that you live in. So every state has different rules and regulations when it comes to insurance. And those rules affect the rate. And number two is how old are the travelers? So your age comes into play. And then number three is how much coverage are we talking about? So the amount of the coverage comes into play. So those three things come into play, and I can literally give you a quote in 30 seconds because Allianz Global is all online. I just enter in the information and it comes up. And I usually have about 4 or 5 choices for a trip, or you can get annual insurance. So we can get annual insurance for $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 or more, meaning $5,000 per person, $10,000 per person, $15,000 per person for the travel.
For the reimbursement if you can't travel. Not medical coverage. The medical coverage part stays the same pretty much.
Yeah. So we recommend independent insurance. However, we have a fair amount of clients who just get it through the cruise line because they're like, you know, we're really just worried about if, oh my goodness, we're just worried about if something happens to the cruise and I have to cancel. So Tom is asking, how far ahead can you book a cruise?
As soon as they release the
itinerary. So we've got 2026 open on the Royal Caribbean Icon of the Seas. We've got 2025 open on a lot of sailing. We have 2026 World Cruises currently sailing. So basically, it's as far out as we can. And now the cruise lines are giving you the best prices the minute they go up. So the minute they go up, that's when the prices are the best right now. And then as they start to fill in, in general. And then if a cruise were to go down, well, we can go in and have it price adjusted for you. So
as long as before final payment.
Yeah, Jerry, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. But yeah, you can book a cruise. I mean, some folks are booking 3 years out now. So Aaron is saying you can't recall how Carnival allows refunds for excursions. Is it similar to Royal Caribbean? How that happened, if a port call gets called off, this is for every single cruise line that we know of. If a port call gets called off for whatever reason, you are just automatically refunded for the excursion. You don't even have to do anything.
For a cruise line excursion.
Yeah. So if you book through the cruise line, your excursion automatically is removed if you can't go into the port. And that is pretty much every single cruise line. So, oh my goodness, Julie Noel, 206 days until you sail on the Celebrity Ascent, brand spanking new. It's going to be beautiful. Good morning to you guys. Oh, I can't wait to see. And I can't remember if you're in our Facebook group yet. Please come join the Facebook group. We would all love to see pictures of the ascent. That's so amazing. I'm so excited to work with you guys.
And that's our first celebrity captain's going to be one of the captains there.
Oh, that's right. Thanks for reminding me, Rebecca. So you're going to have Captain Demetrius. Captain Demetrius was our first captain on the Celebrity Solstice, our first celebrity. Silhouette. and he is funny as all get out. So the Celebrity Ascent has two brothers. For the first time, two brothers are going to be the captain. So the way the captains generally work on a cruise ship, 3 months on, 3 months off. Sometimes it's 6 months on, 6 months off. But I think they're doing three on, 3 off. So one brother will have the helm of the ship, and then the other brother will take the helm, and then they'll just keep rotating. Captain D has been on the Celebrity Beyond with Captain Kate. He's been the alternative captain on the Celebrity Beyond for a while. He is funny as all get out. Oh yeah, 1 year.
Sense of humor, but very funny.
Oh my God, he was so funny. What a great captain. So I hope you got Captain D when you go on the ship. Oh, it's 1 year and 206 days. Who's counting? Just have a good time. Have a good time. Is there a benefit to using a Carnival vacation planner? I have no idea. So here's the thing: when using a vacation planner for any cruise line, really, they do get to know you, obviously, but they're going to convince you for all the reasons why you should book with that cruise line. Whereas when you work with somebody like me who's independent, we're going to find you the best deal. It's not that I don't care which cruise line you book on. Is I want you to take the best cruise for what you want to do. I want you to be on the best ship. I want you to have the best itinerary. Whereas that Carnival vacation planner, they're going to make sure you book a Carnival cruise. They don't want you to leave. And they can be sometimes rather aggressive with how they, work with you. So that's the only thing that I caution with working with a vacation planner with any cruise line, is that their only job is to make sure you book with that cruise line. It doesn't matter what ship you're going on. It doesn't matter if it's not the best itinerary for you. It doesn't matter if it's not the best ship for you. Their job is to get you to book. Whereas my job is to make sure you get the best vacation, whether that's on Carnival, Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, Princess, anybody. So that is the big difference. Yeah.
But it is certainly better than using the general call center.
Yeah, absolutely. The vacation planners are better than the call centers for sure.
Well, most of them.
Yeah. Carol, best cruise line for touring the Hawaii Islands. Well, if you just want to fly to Hawaii and tour the islands, you got one choice. That's the Norwegian Pride of America. That is the only major American flagged cruise ship out there. And so they are permitted just to simply go around the Hawaiian Islands without going to another country. Otherwise, you've got Princess, I think Celebrity. Definitely Princess does it. I don't know who else does it offhand.
I think Holland and Celebrity both do it certain times of year.
Yeah.
Usually the winter time.
Usually in the winter time, you'll get some cruises going out of California, and that's like 14 or 15 days. So you're going to have like 9 sea days. So you go out, you go around the Hawaiian Islands, and you come back. But the absolute best one, by all accounts, is that Pride of America. If you're just looking to fly out there, go around the island. Pero DJ did that cruise fairly recently, and they loved it. They loved it. Yeah, so that'll be your best one. But if you do the one from California, you just know you're going to have about 9 sea days. So you want to be on a really good ship that's going to keep you entertained for those 9 days. I would love to do it.
If you like to just sit around and read by the pool, then most any ship will do.
Yeah. Yes, Allianz is a great one. What's the name of our Facebook group? So there's 2 things on Facebook. One, there's Where's Walter Travel. It's a public page. You can like it and follow it. We post a lot of stuff on there about travel. And then Where's Walter Travel private Facebook group. That's on there as well. You have to answer 2 questions. If you don't answer the 2 questions, you don't get in. I mean, it's so simple. It's just where are you gonna travel to next, and do you agree to the rules? If you can't answer those 2 questions, I mean, you're not coming in. We will totally block you from coming in. So just answer those 2 questions. Come join us. Where's Walter Travel?
It's not like any complicated math problem you have to solve.
No, we can put that in there. What is it? What is the thing with the swallow? What is the
what's the airspeed of an unladen swallow?
Maybe I'll add that question. And you must answer it before you come in. No. Oh, Becky is under 200 days until the Panama Canal on the Island Princess. Island Princess is a great ship. That is the smallest ship that we have sailed on until Christmas, when we get on the 670 passenger Oceana Serena. So Island Princess is a beautiful ship. Such a great ship. And such a great ship to go to the Caribbean, go to the Panama Canal. And Rick, 180 days until the Celebrity Beyond with Captain Kate. Hopefully Captain Kate will be there with Bug. Our plan, I have said this before, our plan is to celebrate our 30th anniversary with a vow renewal, and we'd like Captain. So wherever Kate is, we're planning to be on her ship for our vow renewal. Aaron is asking, how many hours prior to an excursion can you cancel a Carnival? Generally, it's 24 or 48 hours. Generally. I don't know what Carnival's specific rule is. Now, some cruise lines may say you have to cancel it before you get on the ship, but generally, 24 to 48 hours is going to say in that excursion. When you book it, it's going to tell you when you can cancel it. So for anybody, if you're booking an excursion through a cruise line, just look at the terms and conditions. It's going to tell you can cancel up to get your money back. It's going to be right there. So Kevin, longtime Royal Caribbean cruiser, making a change to Celebrity on the Apex in March. Ooh, that's going to be nice. Boy, that Edge class is gorgeous. We have not been on it yet. We were on the Symphony of the Seas, and Captain Kate pulled the Beyond in right next to us, and oh my God, was she gorgeous. Of course, if you haven't seen it yet, I know Ben and David have a full tour of the Beyond. They may have a tour of the Apex as well, but if you haven't seen those yet, certainly you can go check out Ben and David. They are so much fun. We're so proud to be a travel partner with them. We are a travel partner with Ben and David, and of course, we're a travel partner with Sean and Steph. We're so proud of our partnership with them. We're so proud to represent their brands. They're absolutely amazing ambassadors for the cruise industry. Kenneth, 83 days out before New Year's. We have so many people cruising for New Year's now. What?
You skipped past. I was going to say, for the Royal Caribbean traveler going to try Celebrity, if you're high enough status in Royal Caribbean, you will get some benefits immediately when sailing upon Celebrity. So you just have to, it's not a one-for-one thing, but you have to look at what you can get for the equivalent level.
Yeah, so Royal Caribbean and Celebrity do reciprocal benefits because obviously Royal Caribbean owns Celebrity. So, but it isn't a one-for-one, but you will get some sort of benefit on Celebrity, especially if you're a longtime Royal Caribbean cruiser. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Kenneth is 83 days out to New Year's. We have so many cruisers going out on New Year's this year, and now we're one of them. But we got both Valiant Lady and Scarlet Lady. Got a bunch of people going out on New Year's for that. I think we got some folks on Royal Caribbean. We got so many. What a great way to celebrate the new year on a cruise ship. You don't have to get in a car to go anywhere. You don't have to worry about driving home after hours. You know, maybe there's some people out there on the road that shouldn't be out there. What a great way to celebrate the new year on a cruise ship. I can't wait. Kenneth, I'm so excited for you guys to get on Virgin Voyages. I can't wait to get on Virgin Voyages in basically a couple of weeks now. But thank you, Lalila. I'm so sorry. I know I'm butchering that. Carnival also goes to Hawaii. Thank you so much for that. That is awesome. Joey, you were on Wonder of the Seas when a massive pipe exploded and the whole ship lost water for hours. That can happen. That can happen. It's not fun when it does, but it can happen.
Right before our Sky Princess cruise, they had a big water
They
main
did. That is true. I totally forgot about that. When we went on the Sky Princess, they just had a pipe burst like a couple days before we went on the ship. And so for our first couple days on the ship, they had those blowers out in the promenade or the piazza and some of the other areas. So, I mean, it does happen. It does happen. So loving life. Hey, you're planning your 62nd birthday cruise for next year. You need help planning it. Well, certainly reach out. You're watching us on TikTok. So you can either write to me at walter@where'swaltertravel.com. You can click the logo for Where's Walter Travel. There is a contact me link right in there where you can just simply, that's the easiest way, set up an appointment on my calendar. That's why I put the calendar out there. So you can set up a time that's convenient for you. We can do a phone chat. We can do a video chat. The way we work is we'll do an intake call first. I'll spend anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes with you on the phone, on a video chat. And I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. So I get to know you, and I really want to know, well, what kind of a vacation are you looking for? Whether it's your first cruise, whether it's your 100th cruise, there is a specific reason why you're going out. You're going out on your 62nd birthday. So there's going to be certain things that you want to do. There may be certain places that you want to go. There is going to be an area that you want to sail out of, and then an area that you want to go. And I get to know about, what's your food preferences, your entertainment preferences, the pools, everything about the ship itself or the trip itself. And then Rebecca and I, mainly Rebecca does most of the research. I'm happy to admit that Rebecca does a ton of the research for us. And what we will then do is we'll come back to you generally with 4 options, maybe some alternative, but generally we'll come to you with 4 options to say, hey, based on what we talked about, Here's our options. And I don't just send it to you. We actually do a follow-up call so I can talk you through it, and we can talk through, well, this is what we've found. How do you feel about these cruises? Are we on the right mark? Do we need to go do some more research? Maybe there's some categories that we didn't show you that you'd like to know more about the categories, or maybe you'd like to know more about the cruise itself. So that's how we work. And that's what it's like working with an independent travel advisor, or at least that's how it is working with Where's Walter Travel. We like to spend time. We don't just do a call, and while you're on the call, we just find a cruise. Unless you have a very specific cruise that you just want us to book, we'll jump right in there and start booking it. But in general, we will do that intake call with you, and then we're going to go do the research to make sure that we find the absolute best options that we can. Because even clients that come to us and go, we want to go on the Celebrity Beyond, and we're looking at October, we may find like a Princess cruise or a Virgin Voyages cruise, or maybe an Oceania cruise that you didn't know about or you didn't think about. And we'll just kind of show you the differences so that you can make an informed decision. Even if you have a specific ship and a specific itinerary, we may present some options that either you didn't know about or maybe you didn't look at for whatever reason. So,
and sometimes if you want some sort of specific cruise out of a specific port, and we can't find really good options, we can let you know what time of year perhaps might be better for going on that.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like, you may want to go out of Florida in April and we just can't get you the tour that you want. But if you move over to, say, September, that exact itinerary that you're looking for, there it is. That's there. So if you can go in September instead of April, we can send you out.
Or prime example, the Hawaii cruises from California generally aren't going to happen in the summer because those cruise ships are going to be in Alaska.
Correct.
So Alaska season.
Then they all move. So, hey, Becky, how are you? Good morning or good afternoon now on the East Coast. Wow. Jay Frost, you're going on Royal to Cozumel January 4th. How is the weather heading to Cozumel then? And will it be cold on the ship? That all depends on what Mother Nature decides to do. So in general, the Cozumel is definitely going to flux in weather. It's going to be cooler, but not cold.
The air temperatures for the Caribbean don't vary hugely. It's the humidity and the water temperatures that will have the most variations. It changes
a lot. Oh.
And as far as whether you consider it cold on the ship, I never have, pretty much. Walter has occasionally. So basically, that depends on you.
Basically, we were on a cruise ship in March. We were on the Carnival Mardi Gras, and I wore a long sleeve shirt a couple of evenings because when the ship was moving, it got a little cool in the evening, but during the day, it was absolutely lovely. But, we were on the Symphony of the Seas this past December, the week before Christmas. It was beautiful weather. And then when we got to Coco Cay, which is in the Bahamas, we had that polar vortex moving through the U.S. Well, it affected the Bahamas as well. And it was chilly that day. It was cold that day.
It wasn't that cold.
It was cold.
It was not that cold.
It was. Do not listen to my wife. It was cold.
Water temperature was freezing.
But the breeze, it was blowing. It just wasn't that pleasant of a day.
It was not that
but
bad.
That was just because.
We're the opposite of almost every couple out there. I'm always hot and he's always cold.
I am, but I'm her delicate flower, as she likes to say. But the weather should be good. I mean, it shouldn't be like, certainly not New York cold, but it could be a little bit on the cooler side at night, especially when the ship is moving. But the humidity should be down, which is great. Now, Becky says, I'm good, but you're the best. Thanks, Becky. I would agree with that. Rebecca is the best. That she is the absolute best. So, Yanni White, you don't know where to cruise next. Well, just reach out. Make an appointment with us. Let's talk about it. We have literally clients exactly like that. It's like, I want to take a trip in January. I have no idea where I want to go. And then we just start talking through things, and based on the conversation, then we'll go off and find some things for you. So let's talk. Let's chat.
Sometimes we'll give you like 3 completely different options.
Yeah.
And then you see what kind of appeals to you, and we'll find more options on that go that particular place.
Right. And Rick is Rick is going to be on the Scarlet Lady for Thanksgiving. We'll be right alongside you. We're going to be on Valiant Lady for Thanksgiving. So I can't wait. I'm so glad we were able to make that happen for you guys. I can't wait for you to experience the Virgin Voyages. It's going to be so much fun. Yay. let's see. Thoughts on the Celebrity Summit? You've only been on the newer Edge class prior to this. So we have yet to go on the Millennium class. However, we have good friends who love the Millennium class. That is the Millennium class of ship. That is one of their favorite classes of ship to sail on. And they've sailed on like tons of Carnival. They've done Virgin Voyages. They've done Princess. They've done it all. They love that class of ship. I really want to do that class of ship. Obviously, it's going to be quite a bit different. Make sure, you set your expectations for that ship. Much smaller, but Celebrity does maintain those ships. A lot of the same features that you're used to. Now, Celebrity Edge blows it all out, right? They've got the biggest and baddest of everything. When you go on the Summit, you're going to see the origins of everything that you've seen on the Edge class. So just know things are going to be smaller. Things are going to be a little bit more intimate, if you will. But by all accounts, they are absolutely lovely ships. We have sent a lot of clients out on the Constellation, the Summit, and the Millennium, and not a single person has complained. They have all loved their ships. So one thing you may find is the balconies are actually larger. If you've got a balcony cabin, balconies used to be larger on the older ships. And as the ships get newer, the balconies keep getting smaller and smaller. So you actually, if you're in a balcony, you may actually like the balcony more than the one that you had on the Edge class. So Yanni, you love Princess. Well, Princess has tons of itineraries. Jay Frost, oh, you're going out of Galveston. So yeah, I mean, yeah, who knows what the weather is going to be. It shouldn't be that cold, but it could be a little cooler in the evening. So
let's just say you're not going to need a winter jacket. You
yeah,
might need a light jacket. But...
right. 123 saying it was cold and windy on your last New Year's Eve Western Caribbean cruise out of Miami on Virgin Voyages. I mean, it can happen. Obviously, we have no control over the weather. The weather is going to be what the weather is when you get there. Let's put it to you that way.
Just kind of go to your favorite weather site and
just see what it's going to be.
Location and...
like especially a week before the cruise, just check out the weather in Cozumel. Just see what the weather forecast is for Cozumel the week before the cruise. If you feel like it, pack 1 or 2 long sleeve shirts that you've got them. Or if you're somebody who really gets cold, just pack a light sweatshirt or something like that. But that is the best advice we can give you in terms of weather. What is it going to be like when we go cruising? The week before you cruise, check the weather forecast for one of the ports. In your case, you're going to Cozumel, just check the weather forecast for Cozumel the week before the cruise. That's going to be the most accurate it can possibly get, and you're really close to the cruise right before you start packing up everything. So that's what I would do. Hey, Aaron, that's pretty cool. You saw the Majestic Princess in LA. I love it. What a great ship. What a great ship. Oops. Sorry. Oh, you do have a balcony. Yeah. So hopefully you will be, hopefully you'll find your balcony to be a little bit larger, because typically on the older ship, the balconies tend to be a little bit larger. So that might actually be nice. Kenneth is asking me, what is my opinion on excursions via TripAdvisor? I don't know about booking them through TripAdvisor.
All I can tell you is when I do research, I absolutely use TripAdvisor. However, 90% of the time when I go directly to whatever company that is, go directly to their website, it's cheaper through them than through TripAdvisor.
Yeah, because there's always, whether you do it through Viator or you do it through TripAdvisor, there's going to be a markup. There's definitely going to be a markup. So, it's not like a cruise line. Now, a cruise line marks things up 100%, up to 100%, maybe even more. But TripAdvisor, Cruise Critic, 2 excellent websites to get advice on the independent tour excursions. And you absolutely need to do research on the independent tour excursion, because as everybody knows, you need to get back to the ship on time. Now, we are partners with Shore Excursions Group, which is an independent tour provider, and they do provide a return to ship guarantee. So it's a little safer to book through them. But yeah, if you book through, you certainly should research through TripAdvisor, Kenneth. But when you find that tour, go find their website and compare the price. More often than not, the price is going to be cheaper booking direct, because there is going to be a markup through TripAdvisor or any third-party site. It's generally going to have a markup to it. It may not be much. It might be like $10. Yeah. But it will be a little bit more. So, yeah. Oh, thank you, Zomer. You were on the Constellation 2014. No complaints. Thank you very much for that. And user 847. Going to Alaska in 2 weeks. So excited. That's so awesome. Folks, it is closing in on 12:15 on the East Coast. We're going to have to wrap this up because I've got calls to make. So if you're watching on TikTok, hey, know that this coming Thursday night, it's probably going to be Rebecca and I flying solo on YouTube, maybe 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. If you're watching on YouTube, that's where we'll be. Once again, I'm going to run through these group cruises to wrap up. We have the Sun Princess, October 19th through the 26th, 2024. We are selling that right now. We have $100 of onboard credit for everybody who booked with us. June 7th through the 14th, 2024. Excuse me. July 7th through the 14th, 2024, we will be opening up the MSC Seashore, Western Caribbean, 7 days out of Port Canaveral, and that will include an overnight stay in Ocean Key, which we're very excited about that. And then yet to be announced, probably this coming week, Oceana Cruises. We will be doing a 12-night in Alaska in 2025. So if you'd like to have information on those or you want to be up to date on those, either sign up for our mailing list or go ahead and send me an email. I'll put you on the mailing list so you will get the first information. We're going to start reaching out to people this coming week to let them know about the Alaska cruise. And then the MSC Seashore is going to be coming up very shortly. So for those of you on YouTube, thank you so much for taking some time on your Sunday to join us. We should be back on Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time for some travel chat and some group cruise information. So we'll see you back here Thursday evening at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, or obviously next Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. So thank you, YouTube, for joining in. Have a great rest of your weekend. And over on the TikTok side,